All right. Welcome everyone to our second corporate holiday party session. The first one that we did that we launched yesterday was gifting, and today we're going to talk about entertainment. And I have some really great people here who are going to bring some great opportunities for entertainment to your corporate event. So I'm going to have each of them introduce themselves just briefly, and then we're going to get into a bit of a discussion about what Christmas parties look like in 2020. And then we'll talk about how each of them can bring a really great experience and opportunity to your event. So Mike, why don't you introduce yourself?
Sure. My name is Mike Duisberg. My company is called Magic Means Business, and we help people create client events or employee events with entertainment, and I perform with magic and mind reading. So it's an interactive show where people actually come on screen with us during the show, or we even have some stuff set up so that the magic actually happens right in their own hands, in their own homes, even though we're in the virtual environment. So that's
Love
the
it.
kind of entertainment we're doing now in COVID.
Love it. Awesome. Jared, how about you guys?
Oh, hi, everybody. So I'm Jared Goldsmith, and I'm a full-time saxophone player with a band called Sax Appeal Ottawa. All saxophones, very unique. And I also own eSax, the Entrepreneur Social Advantage Experience, hosting events virtually for others.
Amazing. Kat, how about you?
My name is Catalina Vio, and I'm the owner of Modern Photo Booth Company, and we do virtual engagement through photo and video activations for your virtual event.
Amazing. And Rivers.
Yeah, hi everybody. My name is Rivers. I'm the founder of Cheftorial, which is the planet's #1 online interactive chef talent agency where we bring culinary learning experiences right into your screen.
Love it. Now, what I love about all of you guys being here is that I've experienced the services that all of you bring to the table. So I know that I have brought some great people to the table, and I'm so excited to have a little discussion now about how things have transitioned for you in the last few months and what that's looking like moving forward into the holiday season and what you think that's going to look like. So I'll do the reverse order this time. Rivers, why don't you tell us a little bit about I don't want to harp on the COVID thing, but just What did it look like when it was a live experience, and now what does that look like in a virtual experience, and how does that look moving forward into the holiday season?
Yeah, so it's really created an opportunity that I could never have forecasted that would have the momentum behind it right now. Our world has totally exploded into fun, experiential culinary learning. And it's all because of technology. It's all because people want to be connected. People want to socialize, but they also want to learn. And so our momentum has actually grown. We started off 6 months ago as a pivot. And after being in business 20 years on the ground, and actually, I think our value proposition is much better now because we're able to reach a broader audience in their kitchens in a way that they might never have experienced before. So it's hard keeping up to the demand for the conversation. I'm just having a great time.
Amazing. That's so good to hear.
Thank you.
And having experienced your expertise, we used you both in a kitchen environment, but also in a barbecue environment,
Yeah.
which was really fun and doing something a little bit different. So moving forward into the holiday season, are you guys looking like is it busy? Are people catching on to this virtual idea for corporate Christmas parties?
Yeah, and that's exactly what's happened is because there's a need, there's a pent up demand for, okay, what the heck are we going to do here? And so the creativity box is open and people are really willing to explore the unique opportunities that exist doing it virtual. And so we've built a package around hosting holiday cheftorials, we call them holiday cheftorial staff parties, focusing on the staff. What are you doing with your staff? What are you doing with your team? What are you doing with your family? And we put these packages together, 90-minute packages, and people are again responding because they're in a situation that they need to be open-minded, and they're excited to explore the fun that we offer them.
Yeah, that's amazing. Kat, how about you guys? So we've used you in the live world, and I know when we had you guys live, I was talking with your tech that was on site about what the virtual component is looking like. So could you maybe explain a little bit, because I think it may be hard for people to understand how a photo booth would work virtually. So what does that look like from your end?
Yeah, it's definitely been an educational opportunity for both us and our clients, but we pivoted to the virtual arena months ago, pretty much a month after COVID hit. We started trying to find softwares that we could do to bring a photo and video experience online that was engaging and would still allow people to take pictures, but also funneled all those pictures into one place. So virtual photo booths that we have right now, they kind of do the same thing that a lot of the in-person photo booths would do. They take photos, GIFs, boomerangs. We can even do video and record sound to do like testimonials. And the best part of it is it all funnels into one live gallery. So you can see everyone in one spot. And in other cases, we've added on digital mosaics that, you know, have animations and advertising, and it's an interactive experience. It's broadcast live over YouTube, so anyone can come in and see their picture get added to a larger image. And that's really been a huge hit with a lot of our planners and corporate parties that we've been doing, you know, even before Christmas. It's just everyone's really looking for a way to connect and get that group picture that you can't do anymore.
That's so fun. I'm so glad to hear that that's worked for you guys. And like, it's added so many components to what you could do live, which I think is so great. And I think, like Rivers was talking about, right? Like, if we're all open to that, if we're open to the creativity and the changes, there's so much opportunity out there for people to do amazing and great things. And it may not be our traditional Christmas parties that we're used to, where we all get to mix and mingle and do all those fun things. But I think it's a really great substitution until we can get back to what that looks like in a live world.
I could just mention one thing, Julia. One thing that's happened with us is now we're getting national companies who are now able to bring together their team nationally with one event versus having to do them separately. So it just reinforces there's another opportunity there.
Yeah, yeah. And I think I saw someone post today on LinkedIn about how, like, virtual will never replace live. And a lot of us have been saying that since the start of this. And but virtual will stay and just be another component that people are going to be adding to their events for exactly that reason, right? Where, like, either it does manage that now all of a sudden they can have their entire national team in one location instead of having to try and do it live or fly people in or whatever that looks like. Or they can still go back to the live component if that's what they really want, but always having that virtual or hybrid option is a great addition, is actually an addition as opposed to a replacement at this time. So Jared, how about you guys? How are the saxophones playing over a virtual world?
Pretty quiet. So what I would normally do is we go to events and we perform, usually for cocktail hour or dinner, and then we leave. The first thing to end was live music, as you all know very well, and also event planning services. I host even in-person events, so I wear two hats. The day after COVID hit, I sat down, did some thinking. I said, okay, I'm going to put the music on hold for now, unless somebody still wants it, because one of my players still can do a jazz quartet with the music playing on a track and then him playing saxophone over it. He has dozens of videos on YouTube, so it's very easy to do. The other option is to host virtual events on a brand new platform. That's what I'm doing now. So my whole day job is not really the music these days. I'm not, saying no to that forever, but for now, I've shelved the music and I am using this platform, not Zoom. It's much better for conferences and networking events, to host events around the world on this really interactive platform. So that's my day job now.
Amazing, amazing. So that platform, how can they, like, let's use that example that Rivers was talking about, like where they're bringing a national company into one location. How can that help that company really bring that event to life so that they are maybe even mixing and mingling with people that they wouldn't normally get to because they do their Christmas parties, across the country separately? How are they bringing all these people together?
Sure. As you know, Zoom is by choice the most popular virtual platform out there, but it's not the most appropriate for every event. For a conference that, say, Rivers, you want to bring in folks from around the world, it's so easy to see everybody on one floor plan. You're talking to small groups of people of up to 8 in like a small little room, but you could see all of the other tables of 8 around you. You could connect with them, send them messages. If you want to address everybody, you go into presentation mode. It is the most user-friendly. And Julia, you mentioned earlier about, virtual events aren't really the same as in person, for sure. This is as close as possible as you could come to an in-person conference or event.
Yeah, I like the idea of having like a group of 8 because it feels like you're at a table, or you're standing around with a, a drink in hand and everyone's talking and mixing and mingling. So I think that's a really great.
Exactly. You're walking around the room with your cocktail mug, you're talking to people at a networking event, and every conference you've ever been to has a networking component. If it's at the coffee machine at the beginning, whatever. Here, it's up to 8 people. You can have rooms of 2, which makes it a private conversation. And Zoom, how many people can you interact at one time? 100, 200 more? Here, each room is a separate standalone room, much like a cocktail reception. You talk to 3 or 4 people at once, and then you turn around and talk to a new group. Here on this platform, you're in one group, talk to 3 or 4 people, and you double click to go to another room. And then you're talking to a group of people in that room. It is so easy.
Love it. Love it. All right, Mike, I had the opportunity to attend one of your sessions, and I have to tell you, to be honest, I was really doubtful that it was going to be as interactive as you guys were saying it was going to be. And I shared a quote, and you guys have used it for your marketing, that it is the most interactive entertainment thing that I had seen to that point. So why don't you tell us a little bit about what that looks like and how you guys thought about moving that to a virtual world and how it works, like how it can actually work and be really interactive.
I came to my position as a magician in a way that's very different from a lot of other magicians. I was trained with a group of guys in a magic bar at the Boca Raton Resort and Club. And we think about our magic very differently than the way other magicians do. And our level is they have to care about what's happening, they have to be involved, there has to be drama, there has to be conflict. And when I said, okay, we're going to do virtual magic shows, my first thought was it won't work because the audience is there and they're not here with me. And I sat down one night, and my wife, Amanda, who you talked to, and she designs the set and does a lot of the work for me, she said, no, look at all the ways that this is interactive. And so I sat down and I said, we have 14 people in the course of a 45-minute show actually get on and communicate with us. And then I said, no, that's not enough. And I actually have, we send out our audience participation kits. I don't think you saw that. So actually during the show, you can see some of the pictures on our site where people rip up playing cards and do things in their home, and the magic's actually happening in their hand. So not only are they interacting with us, they're experiencing it themselves. And that's when we talk about, we're going to open our minds and we're going to open this creativity box. That's the best part of this for me, is that the walls behind me are covered in magic books. I've got another room full of magic books, and things that I could never do in real life, I can do here. And the opportunity to be interactive, the opportunity to talk to people. I did a show with people in Ukraine, Ireland, Germany, the UK, California, Utah, Florida, and South America, all at the same time. And we're all having this same magic experience. It's very cool. And like you said, it has to be interactive because we have to get that engaging component. Otherwise, it's just a TV show. And I said, this is like a TV show, except when you yell at Wolf Blitzer, he talks back.
I love that. What I love too about that is that when I was watching the show, like I felt like I was there, and it was actually better, in my opinion, than being in a large room. Let's say if we had been at a big Christmas party and, in a room with hundreds of people at a table and you're up on a stage, and it doesn't have that same personal impact, because here on the screen, I could see you up close and personal and interact with you. Same with Rivers, with the cheftorial, like being able to interact with the chef while you're literally cooking, and you'd be like, hey chef, how come when I chop my beets, whatever, and you can ask the questions and do that, which I love that interactive piece, which in a live world, there's a whole other experience to it. But in this world, we're actually interacting with people that we probably would not have ever had the chance to interact with, which I think is so cool.
Paul Daniels was this fabulous British magician. If you're from the UK, you know his name, just like we would know David Copperfield in North America. And he was performing one time with Lance Burton, who's a big Vegas guy. And they're on television, and Paul does a trick with a mouse, like a little mouse inside of a matchbox. And Lance Burton puts his hands to his face and suddenly says, oh my gosh, we don't need tigers. Because now this experience is that close. It's that intimate. I'm not performing when I'm performing for 1,000 people when I'm in this virtual environment. I'm really just performing for maybe 4 or 2 or 1 or 10 that are in a living room on the other side of that camera. And that makes that's where that experience comes from. And you're right. I think it makes virtual very special in a lot of ways.
Yeah, I think so too. All right. Well, thank you everyone for joining us. Now, what I'd like to do is give you guys each a chance to tell everyone where they can find you, because we're heading into holiday season. And I know, like, for example, myself, I got an inquiry today just about a corporate Christmas party. So if people can reach out to you, let them know where they can reach out to you and how you can help them bring their holiday party to life. So Mike, why don't you tell us where we can find you first?
Sure. The easiest way is through the website is magicmeansbusiness.com, and we've got everything you need there. Or you can send us an email through it, and we're putting together our holiday packages right now. We've literally got an end-to-end solution now, from the gift box that shows up at your house with our audience kit in it, the show, all the stuff with the videos that warm up the audience and get them excited to come to your event, through the platform in the end. It's literally 3 phone calls and a spreadsheet to make it real easy for you.
Amazing. Jared, how about you?
Mike, I don't see anything up your sleeve. You must be really good.
I can tell you a funny story about that. They said, do you want them longer because you're a magician? And I said, no. And apparently she went shorter.
Well, thank you, Mike. Yeah. So if you're looking for something unique for your clients, having live saxophone players are pretty cool. Oh, did I mention my band is only saxophones? Very unique. Now, having a new platform to host your Christmas party or conference that's not Zoom, much more interactive, esax.ca, esax.ca. Make sure you spell it correctly. And my band is called saxappeal.ca. We have hundreds of videos on YouTube, so check it out.
Amazing. Catalina, how about you?
So you can reach us at mdrnphotoboothcompany.com, and we offer a variety of different packages for corporate parties. So we actually also have virtual Santa meetings, and that could be virtual story time, one-on-one sessions, virtual photo with Santa, which we can do digitally, and we can actually print as well. And then on top of that, we also do our virtual photo booths and digital mosaics. So if you go to our website and click on holiday products or virtual products, it'll give you a listing of everything we have to offer. But what we really like to do is get on the phone with all of our clients and really build something that's unique for their event. So please do reach out to us. We have we respond same day, usually within 3 hours. So thank you so much.
Awesome. And Rivers, how about you?
Yeah, I love it. Thank you so much, Julia, for organizing these amazing guests. I've learned a lot being here. So it's really easy for me. It's just cheftorial.com. Kind of went after tutorial. It's cheftorial.com. And like Catalina, we like to have discovery conversations, because it really gets down to customization, of which, remember, these are the top of the line of the food chain. These are chefs we work with, so we can really push the edge with them. So it's cheftorial.com. Thanks.
All right. Thank you everyone for joining us. This was so much fun. And I love, you've all got my mind rolling. So I've got all these ideas coming through my head now, thinking about all the fun stuff that we can do and putting the pieces together too, right? Because it's often we think about one piece, but could you imagine if we had the cheftorial and we had the right platform and we had a photo booth that people could go and do pictures, and then we got our entertainment, right? Like there's so many options to be able to pull all these pieces together to make, some really exceptional events for our clients. So excited. Thank you so much for joining me. And I hope you guys all have the most wonderful Christmas.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank
You too.
Bye.
Holidays.
Bye.
Thanks,
Merry
guys.
Christmas.